Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I am your host today. Today we're going to talk about the Chiefs versus the Ravens. That was a great game, maybe the game of the year so far. But before we get into it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And please enjoy the rest of the show. So this was the game of the year so far in 2 weeks in the NFL season. Now, I have a lot of feedback from this game. It was a great game, great offensive game. The defense, both sides made plays here and there, but the offense were more consistent throughout the game. It was a high-scoring game, and the Ravens prevailed. The Ravens won this game 36-35, and that was a high-scoring, very great Sunday night game. So the main thing I got from this game was this. It was going to be a very problem. The Chiefs' defense is terrible. Chiefs' defense, they are terrible, and what it does, it puts a lot of pressure on the offense. Same thing with the Ravens. Now, the Ravens are dealing with a lot of injuries. I think the Chiefs only had one person that was hurt, but the Ravens had about 15 guys that's hurt. They plugging people in from the streets, things like that. But still, the Ravens' defense outplayed the Chiefs' defense last night. Because when I look at the two turnovers that the Chiefs had forced, they were just bad reads, bad throws by Lamar Jackson. It wasn't like they pressured Lamar Jackson. He had to scramble out the pocket and force a throw, or the ball was tipped, or he was hit while he was throwing it, or they fumbled the ball. There were two just bad throws by Lamar Jackson. Therefore, the Ravens defense, both of them turnovers came from the defense forcing the Chiefs to do something. So I know Patrick Mahomes, one bad thing about Patrick Mahomes. The good thing is he creates magic. The bad thing is he can't create magic. The fact that he knows that he can create something out of nothing, he's going to be a little bit more riskier on some of his throws. It was twice in the game when he was tackled, when he was almost sacked and he tried to throw the ball. The first time, the Ravens dropped the interception. The second time, the Ravens actually caught the interception because Mahomes is trying to make a play out of nothing. And then the last turnover they had with the last Chiefs drive of the fumble, that was a great play by that defensive player to force the fumble and recover it to seal the deal for the Ravens to get to end the game after that drive. Lamar was in MVP mode. MVP mode. The way he played against the Chiefs is the way I expected him to play against the Raiders, but it didn't happen that way. But you can tell he was a little rusty the first game, and he was a little rusty coming out this game. You look at the first drive. First, he throws over Marquise Brown, right? He outran both of the defenders. He overthrew him. Then the very next play after that on the first drive, he threw an interception. Bad pass. But, he picked it up. He picked it up throughout the game and everything. And then the thing is, Lamar Jackson, he could tell he wanted to win the game. Because he was doing little things like, I know one time he stepped on the defender on the sideline. One time he lowered his shoulder to the defender on the sideline because he really wanted to win that game. You could tell based off their quote-unquote rivalry that Patrick Mahomes been owning these last 3 years. Lamar Jackson really wanted to win this game. I remember Sammy Watkins, everybody kept saying it's not about him, but Sammy Watkins straight up said Lamar has to win this game, his teammate. And you can tell the excitement it had in the game, him and Sammy Watkins, when the defense prevailed at the end with the fumble. So now, Mahomes, like I said, Mahomes' ability can hurt him. But the thing about the Ravens play good defense, but a lot of the Chiefs' plays and touchdowns were for Patrick Mahomes throwing like a 10-yard, besides that bomb he threw, like a 10-yard, 13-yard pass, and then yards at the catch. I don't know, Kelsey had one, Pringle had one. So they had players that would catch the ball and gain a lot of yak yards afterwards. So that's just bad tackling or just bad pursuit by the Ravens defense. But the Ravens defense showed up in the critical moments. Like that one play, Tyreek Hill, they had a great game plan against Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was a no-show last night because they double-teamed him every single time. Except for the one play, he wasn't double-teamed. I believe he's a rookie, right? Great play against Tyreek Hill in the fourth quarter. That was a key stop right there to get them back in the game because Lamar Jackson threw that first interception and it put them in the hole because it was a pick six. So they were playing behind, so they were scoring back and forth, but every time they scored, they were still down 3. So they needed that stop to get over the hump and taking the lead. So the defense stepped up and they prevailed. So It was a great game. You look at the numbers. Lamar Jackson he was 18 for 26, 239 yards from through passing, but he had 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions were bad. They were just bad throws. It wasn't forced, and 1 touchdown throwing it. But this is a key right here. He had 16 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar has to run the ball more. He has to run the ball more. Magic comes when he uses his legs. He has to run the ball more. Like I said in my last video last week, the RG3 syndrome, right? The RG3 was using his legs his rookie year. He come out his second year and he wants to be Aaron Rodgers. He wants to be more in the pocket. Use your ability use your legs. If that's what your strength is, use it. If it's an open hole, open seam for you to get a first down or etc., use your legs. Because when you do that, you put more pressure on the defense. So that's what Lamar Jackson did last night. And you look at Patrick Mahomes. He was 24 for 31, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That 1 interception he had was a crucial interception of the game. That was a bad pass. He didn't have to do that. He was about to get sacked and he tried to make a play, and then it was an interception. And then what happened is the momentum shifted and went towards the Ravens' way. And then they capitalized on that momentum because no defense couldn't stop each other, really. It was a rare punt situation in this game. So I'm just glad it was a great game. I believe Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs will lose one more game. That's it. They'll lose one more game. They'll go on a huge winning streak. They will learn from this mistake. But their defense need to step up because if they're going to have some problems in the playoffs against, like in the AFC Championship or in the Super Bowl, if their defense don't step up. I still have the Rams going to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, but I don't have the Rams finishing the 1 seed. I have the Rams finishing as the 6 seed, making it to the Super Bowl. But I have the Chiefs finishing as the 1 seed, making it to the Super Bowl and beating the Rams. But they have to show up their defense throughout this year for that to happen. But as far as Lamar Jackson, I still believe Lamar will have an MVP-like season. He will be an MVP candidate this year. With all the injuries going on, I still think the Ravens will finish number 1 in their division. Right, and I'm pretty sure after watching that game last night, everybody's seen sparks of that. People see the potential of that happening because last week nobody saw it. I called this before even the NFL season even started that the Ravens going to win the division. Even after the injuries, I still stuck on my pick. So Lamar will have an MVP type season. He won't win MVP, but he'll have an MVP type season. I believe Patrick Mahomes will win MVP because of their winning record and the numbers he's going to put up. And that's my analysis for that game. Great job. You made it to the end. I really appreciate that. You made it to the end. Now, before you leave this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell also so you can be notified when we drop our next video. And lastly, make sure use the comment section. Put your comments down. Tell me what you think about this topic we just went over. Tell me your comments, your opinions, and maybe we can have a chat debate in the comments. So I appreciate you guys for staying, and I'll see you at the next show.